Hello friends, I hope you're happy and well. Today I've come to Dolgoch Waterfall. I haven't been to this one before, but I was just driving past and I am a sucker for waterfalls, so I had to stop. And I think I'm going to be impressed. We've got this lovely river going all the way to the top, and there's this amazing viaduct there. Unfortunately, I was hoping this was going to be my first photograph, but if I go down into the river just down here, because I'm so low and I'm looking right up at the viaduct, the viaduct is in the sky and it's very white behind, it's quite nondescript, so it won't work, unfortunately. If I could get higher, see on the other side of the river there's a embankment up there, I could maybe get that, but I'm not going to clamber up that. So as beautiful as it is, I'm going to carry on up the waterfall and see what I can find. So this is really the first waterfall on this walk, and this is called Lower Falls, which I think means it's the bottom one. So there should be another one a bit further up, because I'm quite clever at maths. So as it is, that is a really impressive waterfall. I've just taken a lovely photograph down here. Now you can't really see just below the camera, but there's some lovely rocks down here. And they've given a nice twisting pattern, so I've taken a landscape and a portrait with all these rocks and the water flowing, trying to get a nice leading line so it curves around this bend and then just up into the waterfall at the background. So I've walked up now, up to the main vantage point for this waterfall. It doesn't look quite as good as the photographs that I took earlier, but there is a nice viewpoint here and you can really see the waterfall in its entirety. There is also another viewpoint over there, but I haven't gone over there because there's a big cave and there might be a bear in there or something, so I'm just stopping over this side. But unfortunately, I am struggling to get a composition from here. I have taken a record shot just in case, because the waterfall itself is really beautiful, but up here there really isn't too much foreground to try and give it any balance. So I've just taken a photograph from that bridge. We're at the top of the lower falls right now, and I believe this path goes up to the higher falls, but I'm not entirely sure which way it goes because it splits quite a bit. But the river's going up that way, so I am going to explore along there in a minute. But I took a photograph looking up the river. There's this beautiful oak tree here, just leaning over the river with some small waterfalls, lots of babbling water and a few bits of white water going around the rocks. So I didn't have a wide enough lens with me, so I've taken a panorama, so I've put the camera into portrait and just taken about 6 or 7 shots just so I can get right down into the foreground and get quite a wide angle, just so I can capture this tree and all the beautiful ferns and then the river going between the two. Wow. All I can say is just wow. The track wanders off over that way somewhere, but there's so many little footpaths going all over this area, so I thought I'd just do a bit of exploring just in case. And I can see why these footpaths are here. Now behind me there's this beautiful plunge pool. It's so crystal clear, and there's a series of waterfalls going behind it, so it's a bit messy down here. So I just made my way up to the plunge pool itself, and it wasn't too deep. So I set my camera up on the edge, then just had the pool in the foreground, and then in the background I've got these lovely series of waterfalls coming down, and some beautiful green colours emphasised by the polariser. And at one point the sun just came out and kissed the back of the trees with this beautiful orange light. Now I don't know if that will come out on the photo because right at the top, so it's only a small part, but if it does come out, I think that will look absolutely spectacular. So I think this photo really was calling out for a panorama because there isn't too much foreground. The plunge pool itself is very clear, but because it's so deep and with the polarizing filter it just goes completely black. But you've got all the interest going from left to right with the trees and the waterfall and all the mosses and ferns and everything. So it really did call out to me, say, do a panorama. So that's what I did. I've taken about 6-7 exposures in portrait from left all the way right, and then I'm going to stitch those together later in Photoshop, and I think those will look really spectacular. Right, I apologise if this looks like it's a scene from the Blair Witch Project, but when I said earlier I've got to make a move on to get to this waterfall before it gets too dark, I saw some beautiful waterfalls down the bottom, so I've been stopped to take some more photographs. So I'm just running now with my camera. I say running, I'm actually walking, but I'm just as out of breath. So I'm now heading towards the high waterfall, which shouldn't be too far now actually. I can hear it and see it, so I don't think it's too far. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a vantage point yet, I don't know, but we'll see. Okay, it wasn't actually that far to the top waterfall. It's just to my left, to your right. It's pretty impressive. It's very tall, and the path continues up, but I'm not entirely sure where it goes. I think it goes to the top somewhere, but I'm not going to go that far today because we're losing the light. And there's this lovely vantage point from here, and I don't know if any of the other viewpoints are going to be any better. So I'm going to stop here anyway, take my final photograph of the day because we're losing light rapidly. Now I'll just swing you around so you can have a look at it. Now as you can see, it's quite a tall and narrow waterfall, so this is probably just going to be a portrait just to get it all in. There's a lot of ash, beech, and I think there's some oaks, so if those were actually turning, which I think one or two of there's a beech that's just starting to turn and the ash is going a little bit, so I think in a few weeks you'll be able to get more of a landscape shot just to really emphasize the colors of the trees. But at the moment they're all just green and there's a lot of shadow because we're losing the light, so I think I will just go for a portrait for now. Now it's looking Blair Witchy. I've just come down from the top. This was the shot that I was taking earlier. I'm not too happy with the photograph that I took at the top waterfall. It's extremely impressive by UK standards, but I don't know if it's the viewpoint, the lack of light, I'm tired or not, I don't know, but I really don't think I did it justice, so I've kind of just taken a snapshot really. But the light is completely gone, or almost gone, so I'm now using my torch and I've got about another half an hour to go, so I'm going to pack up now. If I could get back in a few weeks in autumn, when the colours are changed, then I think that could look absolutely spectacular. But this walk is being so beautiful. I've probably been here now about 4 hours. I didn't expect it to be this good. As I was driving past, there's just a small sign saying waterfall, and it's free to come, so it really is spectacular, and I will definitely be putting this on my list to come back to in autumn. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and like and subscribe and all that. I love to hear your comments. I read all of them, and I don't get many, so I reply to all of them. But thank you so much for watching anyway. I really hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.